Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Somewhere between science and superstition.
We have such sights to show you.
Strange Eons. Welcome to Strange Eons Radio. That's Eric over there.
Hello there.
That is Vanessa over there.
Hello.
I'm Kelly. I thought I would start the show, guys, talking about our friend Carlos,
Okay.
who has a really groovy podcast called CZ Media.
Yeah.
Or is that what it's called? CZ Media Podcast? Yeah.
I think so.
And I mean, CZ Media encompasses everything he does, which is photography and website building and all of that stuff. But I was listening to his last show, and turns out I'm one of the sponsors.
Oh, hey, what are you
Nice.
what are
Well
you giving
done.
him?
I'm giving him this right now, talking about his podcast.
That's right.
Because he just did a big thing and talked about my website and all the stuff that I have for sale there. And I was like, wow, he didn't need to do that.
Wow, what a way to get a free sponsorship.
Yeah.
just guilt your friends into it. Hey, I did it for you.
He never mentioned it to me at all. And so I am now saying, especially if you're in the Seattle area, I think you would get a lot out of his podcast because he deals with Seattle local celebrities and just interesting people.
Aw.
So it's really cool. We've all been on it. In fact,
That's true.
if you're a little worried about getting on there and not finding what you want, you're going to find us on there.
Yeah.
And
right.
I've been on there a number of times. Eric, I know you've been on at least twice, right?
Yeah, 2-3 times.
I think we all drank when we were on as well.
Why wouldn't we?
True. Word. I did it remotely and he made me stop, get up, make myself a drink, come back, and then continue to record.
That does not sound like the Carlos I know.
Yeah, no kidding.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, anyway, you hear us talking about him all the time. He's got a great little show of his own. And hey, buddy, thanks for mentioning all my stuff, which is written by klyoung.com, a website that he built for me. It's really cool. It's got all the news that's going on with my own writing and stuff like that. And I've got some really cool stuff coming up, too,
Yeah.
that you'll have to get on to writtenbyklyoung.com to be able to subscribe to something very, very shortly. It will keep you all tuned.
And make sure that it's our Kelly and not that random chick who is also a KL Young writer.
Probably a very nice person, but how
Probably.
dare she fucking take KL Young as her writing name?
Insane. Insanity.
What you gonna do?
She's probably not even a K. Her name probably starts with a C.
Well, no, I think it probably actually starts with a K. Wouldn't it be great, though, if her name was also Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Ugh,
just complete the circle.
yes.
Oh my gosh, what would it be like to have a name of someone else who's famous or even more famous than you? How weird. How
Yeah,
weird would that feel?
I'll bet that's really weird.
I bet it's really odd.
Yeah, we'll never know.
My God. You see anything cool this week?
I sure did. You guys, I saw something this morning that knocked my
Okay.
socks off.
Mm-hmm.
It is rental on Prime and everywhere, actually. $6.99 rental. It is called Cobweb.
Oh,
Oh my
I've
gosh,
seen that
I've heard
one.
so much good about this.
This movie, at first I was like, oh, okay, it's about a little boy who's hearing kind of some thumping in the walls of his house,
Mhm.
and he's trying to figure out what it is. And I'm like, I got this. This is some kind of ghost story or something. And then it takes a twist that I was not seeing about 20 minutes in.
Mhm, mhm.
And then it
Uh-huh.
took another very dark twist. And I just fucking loved everything about it. But there is a dream sequence in this film that had me curled up on the chair with the hair standing up on my arms. It was so fucking creepy.
Wow.
So Cobweb, everybody go watch Cobweb.
I think this is one of those films that was really poorly advertised. Like it's such a vague trailer for it. But the word of mouth of this has been hot. Like a lot of people just absolutely adore this movie. So I can't wait to check it out. I'm probably going to wait till October, but
It's a great October movie because
Yeah.
it is a Halloween movie as well.
perfect.
Did this have a theatrical release then?
I don't think so.
Oh, it should have.
I say if it did, it was like, a festival kind of theatrical release or
Right.
something.
Yeah, it's great. The father is played by Anthony Starr of The Boys, Homelander, and with dark
Charming.
hair and all this. So I kept looking at him, going, "God, I think I like this actor, but I can't quite place him."
His jaw, the way he holds his jaw and mouth, always get me because he's got a
He's got a
strange
strong
way he
jaw.
does that. Yeah.
He's like actually Australian or something, right?
Yes,
He's like a
he's-
very different human being once he talks with his real voice and his real hair.
Yes, he's doing his best American accent in this as well. So
Wow. Incredible. Well, I had a magical experience. Lower Decks has started back up.
Yes. I've got two things to talk about on today, and one of them has Lower Decks, or if you talk about it, I've got something else.
Well, maybe you can talk about the other episode. So I'm going to talk about the first episode of Lower Decks. Now, I'm a big fan of Voyager, partly because I had an ex, a very special ex, who talked about how Voyager was the best show, and I hadn't seen it at that point. And he said, the captain in it she is the best captain. She understands the prime directive, blah, 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 blah. So when we broke up, watched the entirety of Voyager, and I could not stop laughing. Because this lady's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
She is like, Janeway is insane. Every episode is insane. It is like Star Trek Next Gen, but on crack.
Yeah.
It's so fun because it's just outrageous. And so the first episode of Lower Decks for this season is a love letter to the entirety of Voyager. And my heart filled. Every moment, every little Easter egg.
I was watching that this morning going, oh, Vanessa's getting so much more out of this episode than I am, even though I frigging loved it.
Oh my God.
When the little petal flew off, I'm going, I bet Vanessa knows exactly what that is.
I did. As soon as they mentioned like Tuvix, I was like, Tuvix! Oh my God. And like the mechanical, not axolotl, but the big like lizards. I was the lizard episode. Oh, they're making reference. And like Harry Kim just kept getting knocked over, their little like standee of him. And I was like, he's my spirit animal. And I was like, oh, Harry. And it was also, I don't think they did it on purpose, but there's like a kind of, people getting pins and promotions thing, and Harry Kim never does, despite 7 years of outstanding service in the field.
I'm sure that was probably the way these guys write. This writing team does what they do. I'm sure they knew what they were doing.
At least a little bit. I mean, there's another character in there that literally gets a pip and gets it taken away and gets it back again in the time that Harry Kim does not get a pip. It's like this. Anyways, it was so good. It was so good.
The last season was good, but it had faded a little bit. And I'm going, oh, damn. Maybe, nope. No. These first two episodes are fantastic.
So good. Yeah, I'm super excited. And I know, Kelly, you haven't watched them yet, but...
yeah, I will get right on not watching.
I know you won't, which is too bad because I think that live action thing really was not the right viewpoint.
I enjoyed it, but it was not... You'd had to have seen all of the episodes to go along with it.
To even like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough. It's real rough.
For an introduction to it, it absolutely turned me off of watching it.
No, I would have been the same because they are very irritating on that episode, and it is not.
Frequently irritating on Lower Decks too, in certain ways, but it's endearing in their irritations.
A cartoon, it's such a different feel to the entire. I mean, you can be bombastic and excitable and everything like that when it's a cartoon. Anyways. I'll stop.
Oh, no, that's fine.
What'd you see?
This movie called Amigo. Has either of you seen this? I think it's a Shudder. One.
It is a Shudder one, but I have not seen it.
Oof, boy, it is dark. Dark. The whole pretense of the idea of the movie is this guy gets his best friend and his wife into a car accident, and it's a horrific car accident. The wife dies, and the guy is messed up. I mean, the wheelchair level kind of messed up and horrible, but the guy his buddy's taking care of him. But it starts off okay, but it deteriorates into real darkness. And it's just, I'm sure some look at it as sort of exploitative of one of the actors, but
Mm.
they're both so good. The acting is so good. It is just not a fun watch, but incredibly well done. And we talk a lot on this show about, watch this movie, it's kind of cool. But I don't really remember much of it. I remember this whole damn movie.
Ooh.
Just thinking about it, it's like, yep. Oh yeah. Oh no. Mm-mm. It's really, really well done.
It sounds like it's got misery undertones.
Darker.
Oh no, no.
I mean, the worst segment of Misery is sort of like the second half of this movie. It's not quite not a specific violent act, but just horrible treatment of someone.
Oh.
It's like,
A Spanish language film or?
no, I think it's English.
Oh, interesting. Amigo.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Probably Spanish. I'm just in my head. I'm hearing it in English because
Because you're that good.
My
You
brain
just translate
works weird.
immediately.
You got a lot of friends you call
I did
amigo.
that a lot. Like remember a few years ago we had that French show we both liked so much on Netflix that was so freaking scary.
Marianne.
Ugh.
And lines from it stuck in my head as being English, and I completely forgot. Oh yeah, this was a French film.
Right.
Yeah.
So this line I remember was ever actually said
Right.
that way. But
One day I'll finish that show. One day.
Why didn't you finish it?
It's too scary.
it's pretty damn good. Yeah.
It's too scary.
I was thinking of rewatching it, and I was like, God, I don't know. I'm still pretty scared.
It's a lot. Maybe if I watch it with somebody. I was watching it by myself last time around, and that was
Yeah.
too much.
There you go.
I also rented The Boogeyman, the latest Stephen
Oh.
King film.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Saw that.
Pretty solid. I was really surprised.
Nice.
It did not do well in the theater,
Mhm.
and then it took a long time to come to rental, and
Yeah.
I thought, oh no, this is going to be bad. And it's not bad. It tells the first 10 minutes or so is the original story, and then it expands upon it beyond that. And I thought it, pretty dang good. A nice little creature feature.
That's
So,
cool.
The
Yeah.
Boogeyman.
I thought it was, it was pretty fun.
You saw it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Had you
Yeah.
read the story?
No,
Okay.
I had not. But it just, it didn't feel, I mean, like it does a lot of horror tropes that we've seen before,
Sure.
but I thought it did a good job. I just enjoyed it.
I like the idea of the Boogeyman being something that has been here,
Yeah.
primally since the time of the dinosaurs,
Yeah,
basically.
totally. Since
Yeah.
like darkness existed
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yes.
And I thought that was neat. And then the reveal, I was like, oh, satisfying. That
Yeah.
is suitably
Cool.
terrifying.
pretty creepy. Pretty creepy thing in there. Yeah.
I can imagine being a kid and seeing a glimpse of this and starting to cry immediately.
And there's nice little moments in there that are a lot, like the tooth pull on the door.
Yeah,
That was good. They did a good job.
they really did.
Yeah.
Stephen King, hit or miss, right? His movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that I would have to put this in the hit.
Nice.
I think tonally, it's it felt like it was good. It felt like it was good use of King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a good
Cool.
year for horror.
It
When
has.
I sit there and think about like Evil Dead Rise,
Oh, man.
and then Boogeyman, and then Last Voyage of the Demeter, and Cobweb, and stuff like that, I'm like, this is not a shabby year for horror.
I've even heard that The Nun 2 is supposed to be better than The Nun.
I heard it was awful.
Oh, well, it
Well,
could still
The
be
Nun
better
was not
than
very
The
good.
Nun
That's true.
and be awful.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's an
Exactly.
extremely fair assessment. Well, as you guys know, Disney continues to push out content regardless of quality.
Indeed.
So
Sure.
they put out, was it Ashoka?
Uh-huh.
Ashoka? So of course, I am watching Rebels.
Oh,
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have no idea what's going on. So I'm only on season 1 still,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's pretty delightful. It's basically the same level of I'm forgetting the name of it, but the Star Trek kids show that we enjoyed watching.
Prodigy or something
Prodigy,
like that.
yeah. It's a similar kind of it definitely is marketing more towards like teens, preteens.
Yeah, this is a show that I tried hard to get into
Mhm.
and kind of gave up, and then the second season starts getting rave reviews.
Oh, sure.
So I was like, all right, I'll try it. And then I was hooked
yeah.
hard. So I ended up loving that show.
I'm stoked.
Cool.
Like I haven't had too hard of a problem with it so far. I just did the double episode where we learn about something exciting. I don't remember anymore.
Could you be more specific?
It wouldn't take a lot.
I don't know, episode 7 and 8, and I guess something very thrilling happens, and you find out about someone somehow. I mean, you find out about his parents, and a little bit about the backstory of how his birthday is Imperial Day or whatever.
Yeah. I'll say this. I think that Rebels really kind of knocked it out of the park. The last couple of seasons of the Clone Wars was really good. And all of that stuff is head and shoulders above even Andor. So
What?
yeah. So it's like, you guys, you were doing a great thing with your animation shows. Why does everything have to be live action?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's like Disney putting out the live action Beauty and the Beast and it being one of their
Right.
most successful films they've had in theaters in like 30 years or something.
Insane.
And just we must do this
Oh,
now.
We
Well,
must
okay.
make money. So much money.
Are you holding off on watching Ahsoka because of Rebels?
There's no point. I'm
All
not
right.
going to watch a show I'll have literally no understanding of.
Okay. I'm watching it and it's so-so.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be worth it all. I can't imagine Mary Elizabeth Winstead, even though I like her, but like as the character that I'm getting to know in Rebels, I'm like, this is going to be weird.
I love her so much. I've got the biggest crush on her. She's unrecognizable because they've not just got her with green skin, she's got green contact lenses in as well,
wow.
and unrecognizable. And I'm like, okay, why her? Why such a high profile actress for a role that completely covers you and you can't tell?
They
And her
went
part
the,
is not a big part.
It went the Rocky Raccoon thing.
Rocket
Rocky
Raccoon.
Raccoon. It's like, hey, let's
yeah.
get one of the best looking men in Hollywood to play a voice raccoon.
Did you know that she's married to Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan?
I did not.
Yeah.
Huh.
Star Wars family there.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
gross.
So they do lightsaber jokes or something? Is that what you think?
No, just, a little incestuous.
She should only date people from Star Trek universe.
I did just find out that 2 of the current Star Trek first commanders are married to each other. So the guy who does the voice acting from Lower Decks, who's the dude from Sliders, is married to the lady from Strange New Worlds who plays the first commander.
I
in
knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Found out from the writer's strike because they had Star Trek Day and they all went and struck together.
There you go. Well, I've got another film from my 100 Days to talk about. This one was kind of fun because another person on the 100 Days hated this movie. Didn't like it at all.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this sounds interesting. I look it up. It's 72 minutes long. I'm like, all right, let's do this one.
Easy,
Not even a movie.
Less than a Black Mirror episode.
That's right. And I thought it was a lot of fun. It's called Unseen.
Unseen.
It's
I've seen the poster.
Yeah, it's basically a woman gets kidnapped by her ex and he threatens her a lot, but apparently she has it's a weird pretense, but you kind of roll with it, where she's got really, really bad eyesight.
Oh.
And through a series of weird calls, she ends up calling this random woman that works at kind of like a weird Florida version of 7-Eleven and becomes her eyes using the phone, the front-facing camera on the phone.
Oh boy.
So yeah, if you go with it and you just have fun, it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
But and what the lady who hated it did was exactly what you did. She just like, nah, I'm not buying into this at all, and really hated it. But I bought into dumber things in movies and enjoyed it.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, what the hell?
You're sitting here.
It's amazing what your mindset does for this kind of stuff. Like how you can have such a wildly different experience depending on your mood.
Right.
Oh yeah.
For some of these films.
Yep.
So you're giving that a recommend. I think I saw that's on Shudder.
Yeah, I think so. Shudder, or it's just fun, and it's got enough. Some of it probably came from my retail background because she's in a retail kind of store dealing with some freaking idiots
Right.
that are so over the top that if you're not buying into it, they're just annoying. But if you buy
Ah.
into this is a parody, these stupid customers you get. I get this. So it's fun.
Very nice. Very nice.
Awesome.
Speaking of your 100 days,
Yeah.
I saw that you were starting to post those on the Strange Eons Radio Talk
Yeah.
page.
Ooh.
Yeah. I liked your
And
idea of what you've been doing with what you're watching.
that I
Put on
wouldn't
there.
talk about on this mostly
Yeah.
World War II movies. Thanks,
So
Vanessa.
far, yeah.
I know. It's a deep hole. Who would have thought so many people had something to say about that little conflict?
Oh, man. Way to trivialize.
Hey, what is it? A 32-hour story
Podcast.
about it? All the things that happened in that little thing. All
And
right.
just one portion, one corner of it. Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to see what I'm watching that's not horror, or you want to see what Eric is watching for his 100 Days of Horror stuff, that's all on the Strange Eons Radio Talk page. I'd sure like to see Vanessa get on there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Look, I
agree.
Really, the only reason I ever go onto Facebook is for our website, and to interact with our listeners. It's really, really the best part about it. But unfortunately, everything else about it sucks. So every time I log in, I'm like, I hate all these people. And then I
Yeah.
log right back off again. So
Yeah.
not looking at our stuff, like looking at
I
my
was going
feed.
to say,
No.
It's like,
Looking
oh
at our
my.
feed.
Eric and I face pop up, and you're like, I hate all these people.
No, I have to actually log in, see all the like swaths of humanity and pages they're recommending to me and ads, and choose to put in, type in where I want to go where I want to go, then read. So by the time I, even open it up and look at it, I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. Goodbye.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
I'll make an effort. because I would love to see like what you guys are talking about on there.
Yeah,
and
some fun stuff.
I'll jump on there and say stuff I'm watching it's just going to be Star Trek. There's nothing else.
That's fine, but then you get actual people discussing it with you. I've really enjoyed the discussions that have come up. I posted a really neat article, not neat, I guess depressing article about the mediocrity of Star Wars and how it's killing the brand. But on that article, there was a link to a guy's website where he has done a fan edit of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series into a 2-hour movie.
Oh.
And
I started watching it, and it's so much better.
Oh my God.
So much better than the series.
That's the kind of editor I
I
love.
can see that, yeah.
Ones that take things and fix what once went wrong.
It
Sam
was,
Beckett's of editors.
It was really simple what he did, too. He just cutting scenes left and right and things that didn't need to be there and rearranged a few things. And he's like, there,
Did he
I
cut
made
out
it better.
all of Leia? Because really,
Unfortunately, no.
bummer. You really
Just
don't need
trimmed
her.
it back greatly,
Yeah. No intro of her running in the woods very slowly with people not catching up.
Yeah, well, he did shorten that quite a bit.
Oh, good.
so-
Okay, that probably helped. Just get her caught immediately.
Right, exactly. Okay, well, how about we take a little break? Everybody can just cool their jets. And when we come back, we are going to be talking about literally anything we want.
Woot!
How did they get in these crazy positions? Playing Funny Bone, the game for people who love to laugh. Okay, back where you started.
The shin bone connected to the knee bone. The ear bone connected to the shoulder bone. The hip bone connected to the hand bone. The head bone connected to the head bone.
When you pick up a Funny Bone card, well, you'll just have to get Funny Bone, the game for people who love to laugh, by the makers of Monopoly. Funny Bones is a Parker game.
We have returned. For those of you who missed out in this segment, the passcode is concatenation. No, wait, concatenation. That's it. Concatenation. Once more, it's concatenation.
The 2 C's or a K?
I can't just give it all out to everybody, Vanessa.
All right, that's fair. Sorry, I take it back.
I will say this. Eric is the person who edits in all the lovely commercials that you hear when we take our break. Last week was absolutely inspired. For our ripoff segment, you found a Velcro. Not even a commercial. It seemed like maybe a training video.
Yeah, something like that on what the anniversary of Velcro, I think it was.
Oh my God.
Nice job. I like that the wheels are turning over there.
That one took a while, I got to tell you, man.
Yeah.
It's like for commercials for a
It took
long
me
time.
a while to figure it out. I was just like, what the fuck is... Ow. The show is about ripoffs.
Yes,
Now I get it.
All making sense.
The final nudge into doing it was that it had the sound of Velcro ripping
Yes.
several times. And I went, okay,
Yes.
that one I can use.
Excellent.
Vanessa, this was your subgenre pick. Why don't you tell us what we're calling this episode?
Well, I don't know, frankly. It's bring your own episode, bring your own movie.
I don't want to do that. Let's talk about somebody else's movies.
Okay, that's fair.
How did you come up with this idea,
So
though?
where this idea really stemmed from was I found out through some random happenstance event that Anson Mount starred in Crossroads with Britney Spears. And I was so excited because I was like, what the F? Our current leader of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Captain Pike, was the lead male. And you didn't believe me. You were
told
like,
me he was in this, and I was like, look, it doesn't count if he was some, cashier register number 3. And you were like, he's the lead. He's the lead male.
he's like the lead male. He's the second build
I
behind
was like,
Britney
all right.
Spears.
Well, I am 100% behind this now because I have to hear about it.
Yes. So my original topic idea was, hey, maybe I can somehow make it so we all talk about Star Trek people and then you guys were like, no. And so I was like, well, I don't care then. I'm talking about this. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. And here we are.
Here we are. Well, I'm putting 10 minutes on the buzzer.
All right. I don't know if I'll need all of that time. So this is the 2002 film Crossroads.
Open your heart to me, baby.
Lucille Wagner! We're gonna be late.
Lucy,
It's about Mother. Has she ever tried to see me?
No, she hasn't.
Kit,
I haven't seen you since Christmas. Dylan, we have to plan the wedding.
Mimi,
I'm gonna get out of this town, go all the way to California. How are you gonna get there? I found a ride with this guy. What? You can't go by yourself with some guy. So then come with me. You serious? Yes.
Ben,
You're taking us to LA?
Yeah, let me get your bag. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
this February,
Moving van, let's go already.
take a chance.
Hello.
High five.
Sneaking away in the middle of the night? You're coming back now.
Share the adventure.
I'm not sleeping here.
Make the journey.
I can't listen to this. I'm a guy, just a guy, and that's my car. It's the one thing that hasn't been taken over by checks.
Paramount Pictures and Zomba Films present, in association with MTV Films, a story about the dreams that drive us.
I wanted to find my mom. I know she wants to see me. She's just scared. Can I help you? It's me, Mama. Lucy.
The places life takes us.
What we have is now. And right now, we have each other.
And the friends that go the distance.
We don't have enough money to get the car fixed.
I have an idea.
All right, next contestants.
So put another dime in the jukebox, baby.
Britney Spears, Anson Mount, Zoe Saldana, Taryn Manning.
I love rock and roll. Rock and roll, yeah.
Crossroads.
You did hear me right. It is the Britney Spears version, not the one that Kelly talked about a while ago when we were talking about crossing intersections.
Not the good one.
Yeah.
Sure not. Rotten Tomatoes score of 15% from critics, 40% from audience. Big disparity. Audience seems to really like it. I think that there's been a very popular gay movement behind it. The budget is somewhere between 10 and 12 million, but the box office was 61.1 million.
Whoa.
Sounds like a hit.
Did pretty good. Directed by Tamara Davis, who has 82 credits to her name. She started off doing music videos for Depeche Mode, The Smiths, The Bangles, Indigo Girls, New Kids on the Block, you name it, she did it. And then some really bad films like Half Baked and Best Men. Lots of TV, including most recently, she's done 2 episodes of The After Party, which I've been watching. So she's doing a lot of work even now. Written by Shonda Rhimes, 23 credits to her name. Station 19, she wrote 95 episodes of. She also wrote on Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, and Grey's Anatomy, 409 credits. Scandal, 124 credits, and Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement. This, however, was her 3rd ever writing credit, so I called BS to all these people on the internet who are like, Britney Spears talked to her when she was writing for Grey's Anatomy. I was like, she didn't start writing for Grey's Anatomy until 3 years later.
Gauntlet thrown.
I'm sorry, but something's amiss. Starring Britney Spears as Lucy. She has 94 credits to her name, including I'm Britney, bitch. You don't need to know anything else about her. You don't know who Britney Spears is, then leave. Anson Mount.
Leave Britney alone.
As Ben. He has 56 credits to his name, including Captain Christopher Pike in Strange New Worlds and the only watchable thing in Discovery. Also, in Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, he played Black Bolt. He was in 55 episodes of Hell on Wheels. He was in All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, Urban Legends Final Cut, and the second ever credit he has is one of the episodes of Ally McBeal. Zoe Saldana is in this as Kit. She has 71 credits to her name, but you would know her as Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, or Neytiri in Avatar, or Uhura in Star Trek. And Taryn Manning as Mimi, 89 credits, including 87 episodes of Orange is the New Black. She was also in 8 Mile, Hassan Flow, Hawaii Five-0, Sons of Anarchy, and plays a lot of rough around the edges kind of people. Also in this is Dan Aykroyd, Kim Cattrall, and Justin Long. The plot. As Britney Spears describes it, to teen movie. It is a teen movie that deals with real issues that normal teenagers live on a daily basis. She continued to explain the film's content, saying that it is, quote, about that journey that the 3 of us best friends take, finding ourselves and what we want out of life and getting our friendship back. Friends are all you have at the end of the day. But so when your boyfriend breaks up with you, who do you call? Your girlfriend. I just love that message, end quote.
Would you say in this movie that she is not a girl, but not yet a woman?
My God.
That
is
what? There's all kinds of problems with this moment. You knew that line, and I knew that line after he said it.
And the worst part of all is this movie is the vehicle for that song.
Oh, shit.
Out of all the songs in her entire catalog, that is the one
Yes.
that is in this movie.
I know that.
Oh, did you watch Crossroads
It's so
too?
upsetting.
I have not watched Crossroads.
I can't believe you knew that. I didn't know that.
But I like bad music.
Well,
and that
fair.
includes Britney Spears.
Man,
yeah.
This particular song, woof. Okay, so
Now it's in my head. Thanks, man.
We start this movie with 3 little girls who are best friends bearing a time capsule. They promise to open it together 10 years later when they are graduating from high school. Skip to 10 years later, but they are no longer best friends. Lucy, played by Spears, is a perfect A+ student. She's valedictorian. She studied instead of partied. Her dad, Dan Aykroyd, is a hardworking mechanic who dreams of her going to medical school while she wishes she could just sing and produce music. Mimi, Taryn Manning, is a trailer trash high school pregnant girl. She gets a lot of shit from the people around her and has really become, again, rough around the edges. Kit, Zoe Saldana, has become a mean girl who makes fun of Lucy and Mimi, even helping spread rumors that Mimi is a massive slut. Mm. The night of prom, Mimi asks them if they will meet her up to dig up the box, but Lucy has made plans to lose her virginity with her lab partner, Justin Long. Kit plans to chat to her fiance on the phone. So when Lucy decides that she actually wants to save herself for someone special, and Kit can't get her fiance on the phone, all three of them find themselves digging up this box. Inside hosts their dreams of what each would be at this point. Mimi wanted to travel the world, but of course she can't because she's pregnant. Lucy wanted to meet her mom, who abandoned her when she was 3, but that's not going to happen because her dad has other plans for her. And Kit wanted to be married, but you know what? She's going to be married, so it's great. Mimi tells them that she's going to get a ride to LA with the hot singer from the prom, Anson Mount, and asks them to come with her. She plans to audition for a big song contest. Both say no, but decide to come along after all when for reasons of their own. Anson Mount, they all pile into Anson Mount's car for a road trip. Along the way, Lucy will confront her mother. Kit will discover why her fiance never has time to talk to her. I bet we can all guess why. And Mimi will chicken out of a song contest, leaving space for Lucy to fill the gap, of course. All three will discover their friendship again, and Lucy will discover Anson Mount is super hot. Then we'll end on a music video. This film has a lot of emotional twists and turns with zero earning. At the very end, we see Britney in the car with her dad, who she called to pick her up and take her away from this horrible LA experience. And she needs to get out of there because everything has gone wrong. And she just stops and says, "Don't chase me away like you did to Mom." Stops the car, gets out, and makes out with Anson. I was like, wait a minute. You called him. Wait, at what point in this 3 seconds you were in the car did you decide to grow a pair and pursue your dreams? All right. Also, the whole we all hate each other, but actually now, psych, we're super good friends happens really fast and completely with zero precedent. You're like, wait, you literally spent the entirety of high school telling the pregnant girl she was a massive hoe. What? Okay, I guess we're friends. It's okay. The music video section at the very end is extremely weird because they're like, by the way, Britney Spears is really famous. And it's totally an audition, but she has backup singers and a band. And all the people watching the audition are clapping in tune to her singing. Not yet a woman. Of all the songs, why in Christ's name did it have to be this one? Her friend wanting to be a singer and then instead Britney Spears having to do it for her felt really, really weird, especially after doing some research and just discovering that Taryn Manning is in fact a singer from a band called Boomcat. Do we hear her sing in this movie despite her being the one who wants to be a singer? No, we do not. She does do some backup humming. Nobody seems to have words that they sing behind Britney. Anyways, there's a big discussion around rape. It's very strange. It feels very weird, but that's okay. I had some weird moments watching this movie because it came out in 2002, which is the year I graduated from high school. And I had some of this clothing and I had some of these magazines and I remember these trends and it was very odd. And I was like, I have that butterfly t-shirt or had. It's a long time ago now. Also, no wonder we all were terrified of our bodies and felt awful about ourselves back then. These three girls are anorexic. They are not healthy human beings. They are thin and gross, and they spend a lot of time looking at their torsos with slow pans on the camera. We were all fat cows in comparison. There was no way. And they kept talking about how one of them was fat when she was a kid. No, she fucking is Zoe Saldana. She was never fat a day in her goddamn life. She doesn't have a piece of fat on her body. Also, the music is mixed really strangely, so it's not very loud. And you're like, why? I don't care about these songs. Oh my gosh, I'm actually going to run out of time. Trivia. Tagline, dreams change, friends are forever. Original title was What Friends Are For. Filmed in New Orleans and around Baton Rouge in Louisiana, near Spears' hometown. She was recording... No. I still have more to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vanessa. The rules are the rules.
I haven't even talked about Anson Mount yet. I only have one piece of trivia. Okay, Anson Mount revealed that before he took the role of Ben, he was on set for the film City by the Sea with actor Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro saw Mount with the Crossroads script and encouraged Mount to take the role, being a huge fan of Britney Spears himself. He even ran Spears' lines along with him.
Sure, why not?
I'm, you're looking at me because I am not yet a woman.
But no longer a girl, as I can tell. Really lost that girlish look around you. You're ready for the world. Bowling for Soup is one of the band who's featured in this film.
I like them.
So weird. You're like, why is Bowling for Soup like at their prom? And why is Anson Mount their like lead singer
You know
sometimes?
why they're there?
Why?
Because they gave him a check and said, hey, you want to be in this movie? And they said, sure.
That's actually, yeah. I mean, although it's kind of low budget. And of course, they use a lot of Justin Timberlake songs because he was dating Britney at the time. And it definitely did not blow up massively later.
Why didn't it work between Justin Long and Lucy?
Justin Long in the film?
Yeah.
Because they were just lab partners and she didn't think he was that hot.
Oh, but she was about to lose her virginity to him.
Yeah, because he had written a manifesto basically to her about why they should lose their virginity together. It's a list he pulls out and she says, bring out the list. I need a reminder. And he starts reading through all the reasons why they should be banging.
Whoa.
And then she says, you know what? No, actually.
That's a hot seduction technique.
Really,
there.
name one manifesto that ends up well.
I cannot?
Yeah.
I cannot. One other thing. This premiered at Cannes.
No, what the fuck?
I know.
Again,
like,
there's your money being spent some weird ass way.
It is incredible. It's incredible. It did win 2 Golden Raspberries that year, including Worst Actress and Worst Original Song.
It only got a 6-minute standing ovation at Cannes. That's how you know it's a piece of shit.
Only nobody walked out, which meant
they all slept.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm never going to watch that movie. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Do you feel like you got your Anson Mount out of it?
I do. It was weird though, because he looks totally unrecognizable in this film. He looks completely different because now he's like very Silver Fox sort of thing going on. Sure. He's like got dark hair. He looks super typical 2002 hot guy in movie. He looks a lot like the guy from One Tree Hill, whose name I'm forgetting, the blonde kid who I can't remember. But anyways, it's really weird. You're like, wow, that is not on Anson Mount. It's just not. It's just not. But he's great.
20 some odd years ago.
Okay,
he aged very well. Not everybody in that film did.
I will go next.
Sure.
Oddly enough, this film also came out the year I graduated in 1987.
Excellent.
It is called 3 O'Clock High.
I guess I should have known from the beginning. It was going to be one of those days.
His name is...
Jerry Mitchell. Hi, Jerry.
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 Hi, I'm Jerry Mitchell. I'm with the school paper.
He just met the new kid in school.
The guy's the closest thing to Charlie Manson ever seen at Weaver.
Now,
we're gonna have a fight today after school.
He's got 6 hours to get out of it.
It's been quite a morning, Jerry.
You can say that again.
He'll try running.
I wouldn't leave school without a good reason.
He'll try bribery.
If I can get the money, do you think you'd do it for me?
Ravel will never bother you again. Guaranteed.
He'll try robbery.
I hear you're giving Jerry Mitchell a hard time.
Till finally...
The fight is on. You and me in the parking lot, 3 o'clock.
Jerry's got a lot on his mind.
10 seconds.
But he's not thinking about math or English.
5 seconds.
Because at 3 o'clock, he's gonna make history.
There isn't gonna be any fight today!
Budget of $6 million, box office of almost $4 million. Rotten Tomatoes critics have it at 57%, and the audience has it at 73%. Directed by Phil Janau, who has 31 credits, tons of U2 videos, but I'm going to let that pass. He also did The Gridiron Gang, Wild Palms, Heaven's Prisoners, and an amazing short film called Dirty Laundry, which was an unauthorized Punisher movie starring Thomas Jane and Ron Perlman, and it is amazing.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, it is.
Written by Richard Christian Matheson.
Ooh, damn.
35 credits. Lots of TV, including Full Eclipse. You're welcome, Craig. It Waits, Big Driver, and just recently Nightmare Cinema. Also written by Tom Solesi, who has 34 credits. Episodes of The Incredible Hulk, The Powers of Matthew Starr, Knight Rider, and Star Trek Voyager.
Whoa.
Starring Casey Siemaszko. 74 credits. He is that guy. He was that guy that was in Stand By Me. He was that guy that was in Young Guns. He was that guy that was in Storm of the Century. And he was that guy that was in 14 episodes of NYPD Blue.
Excellent.
Also starring Annie Ryan, who has 14 credits, including Lucas, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Laws of Attraction. And Richard Tyson, who has 143 credits. All of the Farrelly Brothers movies. But he was also in Big Bad Wolf, which is a kind of fun werewolf movie that Eric and I like. Realm of Shadows, probably most known as being the bad guy in Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, sure. Yes.
It also stars Stacey Glick, Jonathan Wise, Jeffrey Tambor, Philip Baker Hall, and Mitch Pileggi.
Oh, nice.
Have you guys seen this movie?
I have not.
You have not?
I know. I was looking at it going, I thought I had. I looked it up going, shit, I have not seen this.
You are insane. I am so angry right now, and you haven't either, Vanessa. I don't expect much of you because you have bad taste in film.
Hey, I'm catching up.
This is also a comedy, kind of. Okay, well.
So you immediately dismissive. Don't even make eye contact with me. Well, it's comedy.
Well,
so.
yeah, you don't like comedies. Okay, we meet meek high school student Jerry Mitchell and his sister Bray, who have the house to themselves while their parents are on vacation. Jerry is woken up late, and we watch him try to deal with making breakfast, drying clothes, and racing to pick up his girlfriend and take her.
I have seen this.
Okay.
Looking at the pictures through it going, oh, I remember that. Okay, yep.
Okay, I'm so glad you felt like you needed to interrupt me right in the middle of this to let me know. It's a pretty great scene. And easily something you could see happening at the beginning of Back to the Future. I bring that up because this was supposed to be a film in the vein of any number of high school age comedies of the era, but right off the bat, it sets itself apart. His sister isn't super annoying. They get along well. His girlfriend, Franny, is a little weird, but they have a nice high school relationship. Everything just feels more real in this movie as soon as it starts. And that's when it stops feeling real. When they get to school, everybody is gossiping about Buddy Revell, a new student with a violent psychopathic past who has just transferred to their school. The rumors about him are flying fast and hard. He's never lost a fight. He killed a boy. He killed a cop.
Oh, my God.
All of this stuff you realize can't possibly be true, but it keeps escalating as we hear more and more rumors about him. It's very funny. Jerry's first hour is spent at the school newspaper, where his best friend Vincent is the editor. Vincent assigns Jerry to do an interview with Buddy, kind of a meet the new kid. He's not as scary as you think. Jerry doesn't really want to do that, but Vincent says it'll be good. So while Jerry is in the restroom, he sees Buddy going to the bathroom there, so he decides, well, this will be a good time to ask him about it. He attempts to introduce himself, but quickly realizes he's only making Buddy angry. So he tells Buddy to disregard the interview request and gives Buddy a friendly tap on the arm. One of the rumors about Buddy is that you never touch him. And Buddy responds by this tapping by tossing Jerry against the wall, breaking a mirror, and tells him that they will fight outside the school at 3 p.m. When Jerry tries to decline, Buddy tells him if you try to run or report the incident to a teacher, it's only going to be worse for you.
Uh-oh.
So the rest of the movie deals with Jerry, with only 6 hours to go, trying to defuse the situation in various ways that all fail miserably. Vincent suggests that he plant a switchblade in Buddy's locker to get him kicked out of school. His sister advises him to simply skip school, but when Jerry tries to leave, he finds the switchblade he planted now stuck in the steering wheel of his mom's car, and the car won't start. When he checks under the hood, it turns out that Buddy has apparently torn half the engine out.
Oh, God.
Trying to run, Jerry is caught by the school security guard, which is young Mitch Pileggi, who finds the switchblade and takes Jerry to the office of Mr. Dolinsky, the dean of discipline. It is super funny because everyone involved with the detention area of the school has a shaved head and they look like they're running a Cold War era Russian prison. Fantastic. At one point, Jerry tries to pay this big football jock off to tell Buddy to leave him alone. And Buddy knocks the guy out with one punch in the library in a scene that's just beautifully shot. It's hilarious. He tries to get himself put in detention by giving a racy book report where he kisses his teacher at the end, and that backfires hilariously. And we are all left with the realization that Jerry is going to have to fight Buddy. Will Jerry be able to reason with Buddy and get out of the fight? Or will he have to stand up to his bully and gain the respect of everyone in his high school, while perhaps inadvertently starting all sorts of rumors about himself that mirror the rumors of Buddy at the beginning of the film? You'll have to watch to find out.
Ooh.
This is a fucking delightful movie. Very underseen, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's got such a low Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't know why it did so poorly at the theater. It's so good. Yeah. Tagline. Jerry Mitchell just bumped into Buddy Revell. Now Jerry isn't thinking about math or English because at 3 o'clock, he's history.
Oh, bad. So bad.
Trivia. The movie is considered to be a teenage version of High Noon, but without the period Western setting, which is replaced with a contemporary high school. It doesn't really feel that way to me. I don't buy that, but that's in the trivia. So,
Sure.
The film was executive produced by Steven Spielberg, who had directed this movie's star, Casey Siemaszko, in the pilot episode of Amazing Stories, which was titled The Mission. That's the one where he's the comic book artist in the gunner thing, and the wheel breaks on the B. What was it? A B-12? Been
a long time since I've seen that one.
Anyway, really cool episode. Steven Spielberg was expecting the movie to be handed in. Let me start this over. Steven Spielberg was expecting a movie to be handed in which was of the type and the style of The Karate Kid. Spielberg apparently said to Jeannot after seeing this movie, "What happened to Karate Kid? You made a Scorsese film." And he pulled his name from the picture.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. During Jerry Mitchell's book report, he asks his English teacher what her favorite book is. He's right up next to her face. He's smoking a cigarette. She's kind of entranced with him. And she replies, "Turn of the Screw," which is a funny wordplay, right? He kisses her right after that. The joke is deeper, though, because in Turn of the Screw, there is a scene where the tutor is kissed by her student. Yeah. The movie is just full of all of these clever little things going on. Kirk Cameron was the second choice to play the role of Jerry Mitchell, and Corey Feldman was also considered. I think both of them probably would have done as good a job. This is a movie that doesn't really rely on who's in it because it's so stylistically shot and clever. It is a comedy and there are laugh-out moments, but most of it is not slapstick humor or anything like that. It's all very relatable humor, especially if you grew up as a nerd in high school, which, spoiler, I did.
No. I don't believe it.
I don't know.
It's true.
You did like Better Off Dead, and
this sounds awesome.
Quirky.
It's a fantastic movie. It's not like Better Off Dead at all.
But, I mean, it's just quirky in
Yeah.
that it's a very different kind of movie, not a straightforward.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like so weird and in the way that Better Off Dead is, but it sounds really fun.
It is super fun. I wish this movie showed, at more of the like outdoor movie things that Marymore Park does or something like that. It's just, it's underseen and I don't understand why. And scene.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Eric, would you like to tell us what movie you saw or decided on?
Yes, I shall.
Here comes 10 minutes.
I'll be talking about The Driver.
20th Century Fox presents two men on opposite sides of the law. Ryan O'Neal, Bruce Dern, and between them, Isabella Johnny. Three loners playing a ruthless game none of them could afford to lose. In The Driver. Ryan O'Neal is the driver.
My line of work is kind of hard to come by.
His reputation, the best wheelman in the city.
Did you ever get caught on one of your jobs?
Hasn't happened yet.
Bruce Dern is the detective.
I'm very good at what I do.
His reputation, the toughest cop in the city.
You saw the man who was driving the car, yet you didn't identify him. You got a reason?
I just don't like you.
You get out of my town, because you go out on one more job, and I'm gonna nail you.
You might be getting too big.
Two men driven by their need to prove they were the best.
How are you gonna get downstairs?
I really like chasing you.
Sounds like you got a problem. I'm much better at this game than you are.
You win, you make some money. I win. You're gonna do 15 years.
To them, the money, the law, even their lives no longer counted.
You don't care about the money.
Might even send it to him.
Who was best was all that mattered.
Bottom of the ninth, and we've got the winning run on first. You've been set up, you know.
To break the cop, the driver was willing to risk it all. To break the driver, the cop was willing to break the law.
Go ahead, throw it! It'll cost you 2 years.
Ryan O'Neal, Bruce Dern, Isabella Johnny, the driver. A ruthless game between two legends.
Ooh.
This is The Driver from 1978.
Love it.
Rotten Tomatoes score of 78. 77 from the audience. Budget of approximately $4 million. Box office of $4.9 million.
Oh.
Not do particularly well, unfortunately. This is directed by movie-making god Walter Hill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely a pod favorite with movies like Warriors, The Long Riders, Extreme Prejudice, 48 Hours. Producer of every Alien movie. And he also wrote the film. He also wrote The Getaway, The Drowning Pool, Southern Comfort, Streets of Fire. The man's got some talent. This stars Ryan O'Neal as the driver. That's the full character name.
Mm-hmm.
You might know him from Love Story. What's Up, Doc? 24 episodes of Bones. Zero Effect and Barry Lyndon. Man's done a lot of work. Also starring Bruce Dern. He is the detective. You might know him from The Burbs, Hateful Eight, The Incredible Two-Headed Transplant, The Wild Angels, and Hang 'em High. Dude's got over 200 credits, so you've seen him. And as Isabella Ajani, who is the player. She's from the batshit crazy movie Possession. She's the lead in that. And Nosferatu the Vampire, Sisters, and Ishtar.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Ronnie Blakely, who is The Connection. She's the mom from Nightmare on Elm Street. And also in Nashville and A Return to Salem's Lot. Every character in the listing on IMDb is the something. Nobody has a name. Movie starts with pretty simple premise you've seen many, many times. The driver steals a car and waits at a prearranged time to meet with some thieves that are robbing a casino kind of place, I think, at this point. While they're exiting, the player is there and she sees this all go down and said, "This is really interesting." This is also a minimal dialogue film. Not a lot of talking in it, except for the detective talks a fair amount. But the cops show up, chases on, and I think Ryan Gosling borrowed a little bit from this film, as did the director of Drive. But they both have the same completely stoic look while driving, completely calm and only driving. And, you know, I've made fun of Ryan a little bit before with his role in that, but in that part of the movie and in this part of the movie, it's cool as hell. It's just cool to watch these guys driving with no real emotion reaction, everybody else in the car kind of freaking out. And so the chases are solid as hell. Like I said, this is 1978, so it's all real. The cops bust him right away, but due to kind of a circumstantial thing, so they can't really do much about it. So the detective goes about convincing a group of low-level criminals to hire the driver for a job. and the detective will know all about it. So, borderline, probably illegal, but that's all right because he's got to catch him. Then there's a great scene where you see another driver who's just shit, can't drive at all, and the other guy sees him, and it's very well done. What do you think will happen? Will he do this? What will be the outcome? It's not hard to talk about this film because the plot is basic. And that's part of the trivia I'll be talking about. Taglines. There's a few of these. He'll get you away faster than anyone else on wheels. He's the best getaway man in the business and the deadliest.
Oh.
Which is a little weird. But two men, each as ruthless as the other, on opposite sides of the law. Two legends, each a slave to his own reputation, playing a game neither of them can afford to lose. That's one.
That's too much.
A little wordy.
Yeah. An epic showdown between the city's toughest cop and its cleverest wheelman. To break the driver, the cop was willing to break the law. A game, a challenge, a chase to the death.
That's a lot of taglines.
Yeah. So there is, like I said, a lot of similarities in Nicholas Winding's Refn's, I always forget how to say his last name, Drive. Lead actor is short on words. There's a lady interested in the driver. Opening scenes are very similar, down to I won't work with you again because you were late. After that, the movies separate quite a bit. Drive is far more about getting revenge on a series of various things. This one's just the guy doing his job, trying to keep doing his job. This is Walter Hill's second film. Part of what might become my favorite box set that I've purchased in a while. This features Hard Times, which I've yet to see. The Driver, which obviously I just watched. The Long Riders, which is awesome.
Fantastic.
Extreme Prejudice, talked about here on the show. Johnny Handsome, talked about here on the show. And Broken Tail, which I've heard mixed things about.
Haven't seen that one.
Yeah, 2006. So it was originally written for Steve McQueen, but turned it down. According to Walter Hill, he didn't want to do anything that had to do with cars at that time. He'd already done that, and it was hard to argue with him about that, considering the Bullet movie, Thomas Crown Affair. Walter Hill's drive to writing the script was to make it a minimalist style. He wanted to write a very tight script, not conforming necessarily to the way Hollywood wanted action movies done at the time. And it's really sparse. It is down to the bone, fantastic, no fat in this movie. It just moves at a solid, nice pace. But everything was written to a solid dramatic effect, and everybody in the movie does the right stuff they should do. According to Wensley Clarkson's book, Tarantino, The Man, the Myths, and His Movies, Quentin Tarantino lists this as one of the coolest movies of all time. Don't necessarily always agree with Tarantino's takes on films, but he's dead right on this one. It really is one of the coolest movies ever made. Isabel agreed to be in the film because she thought Walter Hill's first film, Hard Times, was really good. So they thought, I'm going to do it. So just like a streamlined movie, this was kind of a streamlined talk. You've seen this, right, Kelly?
Yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I hate Ryan O'Neal. I think he's brilliant in this, and I think the reason is because he doesn't have any lines to deliver.
He does not speak much at all.
Yeah.
And most of his stuff he's not quite as stoic as Ryan is in Drive, or Gosling is in Drive, but there's a strong similarities.
Yeah.
And he gets annoyed and angry. Everything works in this film. Every character move works. It is insanely underrated, I think, as a film. It's part of it's barely been available.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about some subject we did a while ago at maybe a Walter Hill episode, and I couldn't find it. Not even on YouTube. And then a couple months ago, this box set popped up. I thought, well, I'll get that because that's amazing, and it looks good. Holy shit! It looks straight out of the theater. So, well worth it if you like Walter Hill.
I might have to check out this box set. I must urge you to immediately watch Hard Times. That'll be your next favorite Walter Hill movie.
Great. It looks good.
It's so good. And this is just a really cool crime movie. This is so much better than Drive.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of Drive. I thought it was fine. I also think it suffered greatly, at least for me, because I heard so many people saying it's the greatest movie ever and all this shit. I'm going, it's fine. It's not a bad movie, but I'd watch The Driver again long before I watch Drive.
Absolutely. You talking about it makes me want to watch it again.
Nice.
All right. How much time you got left?
Not much. Seconds, maybe.
Seconds.
Maybe a minute.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to turn it off.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Wow. Unnecessary.
Perfect.
Okay. That means that, well, actually, we're going to do something different for the rest of this month.
Oh, pray tell.
We're going with a theme.
Yeah.
We're
Short
going,
theme, but a theme.
Sci-Fi September.
Yay!
But there's only going to be like 2 episodes, but that's all right.
That's fine because we've got something really cool coming up in October.
True.
So I'm looking forward to Sci-Fi September. I've already picked out my 2 movies. Have you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No?
you guys are on it, and you picked such good ones.
I hope so. They look damn good.
I've heard of many of them, and they all sound awesome. So I'm gonna have to really scoop some good ones up.
You're literally the sci-fi person in this podcast.
Yeah, but like, you guys are so quick to the draw, and
Okay.
I'll find something cool.
I know you will.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the part where we thank everybody for liking and sharing posts, for joining in on the discussion on Strange Eons Talk Radio, Strange Eons Radio Talk.
There you go.
Something like that.
Facebook group, bring on the talk.
Yes, for participating in the value for value model, for calling the Strange Eons Radio hotline. Thanks to Bronzo for calling in last week.
Speaking of DeBronzo,
yeah,
he is full on the torture thing for me. He sent me 6 movies today.
Whoa.
A couple of them I had seen. One I even talked about on this show. So I'm like, dude, go back and listen to some episodes, man.
I wonder if we'll get some more listeners because I know that he clipped some moments from our show and played it on the Lovecraft easing or in their discussion or something like that. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw Mike Davis pointing out the fact that, yes, DeBronzo likes to torture people with his movies. But thank you, Michael, for calling in on the hotline, which is 253-237-4266. Be like DeBronzo. Call in and leave us messages.
That's right. Feel free.
Yeah. DeBronzo, call back.
And, we talk about a few people a lot on this show just because they interact with us a lot.
Right.
It doesn't mean nobody else will ever be able to be mentioned or anything like that. If you want to call in or get commenting, ask us questions to answer on the
Ron. How come we haven't gotten a phone call from Ron?
It's been a while.
Yeah, if you want to be our teacher's pet. You know what? We shouldn't encourage anybody, though, because Micah tends to call in drunk. So, and with his accent, it can be a little rough. So maybe if you're clear-headed and clear-spoken, call the number.
I am fantastic at drunk calls, so please call in. I will field those ones myself.
Boy, drunk dialing Strange Eons Radio seems like a strange thing. Let's explore this.
You've really scraped the bottom of the barrel when you're drunk dialing us. But we'll come back, give it a shot.
That's right. That's right. 3 o'clock call.
All right. That's it for the show. We'll be back in 7 short days. We're talking sci-fi. See you next Thursday. Transportation and other considerations for Strange Eons Radio produced by Pan Am Airlines. When you think of traveling, think of Pan Am. You can't beat the experience. Guests of Strange Eons Radio stay at Econo Lodge Everett. It's an easy stop on the road, if you know what we mean. Strange Eons Radio is recorded live in front of a studio audience. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a positive review on your favorite podcast app. Sit, Ubu, sit.
Double episode where we learn about something exciting. I don't remember anymore.